July in Chatham, beaches, band concerts, and baseball. I'm Huntley Harrison, together with Richard Garvin and Jerry Panusik at Veterans Field with the July installment of Chatham Today, the show that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the town of Chatham. This month, we are focusing on the Chatham Anglers of the Cape Cod Baseball League. But first, here are the events of particular interest for the month of July. As always, the town kicks off the summer with the 4th of July parade. The parade runs from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. on Main Street, with this year's theme, Surf, Sand, and the Deep Blue Sea. This theme was chosen to capture the spirit of celebration of Chatham's location, heritage, natural beauty, and recreational activities, which make our seaside community a special place to enjoy. An expected crowd of 20,000 means you will have to come early to stake out your parade side plot. This is always a great event. And as luck would have it, the 4th coincides with a Friday night band concert in Kate Gould Park. What a great way to cap Independence Day 2014. Here are some of the activities for the 4th. The First Congregational Church on Main Street at the Rotary will be serving refreshments from 8 a.m. until the end of the parade, coffee, cold drinks, and donuts. Also, the Strawberry Festival. Following the parade at 11 a.m., the First United Methodist Church on Cross Street will be featuring strawberry shortcake. Also available, hot dogs, sandwiches, and beverages, like those strawberries.
Yes, indeed.
And backed by popular demand, the July 4th Pancake Breakfast will be held at the Chatham Elementary School beginning at 7 a.m., sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Central Cape Cod and the Kiwanis Club of Lower Cape Cod. This event has been a part of many families' Independence Day traditions, going back many, many years. Adult meals are $7, children under 11 are $4, and children under 5 are free. All proceeds will go to children's charities in our local communities. This has been a part of my family's 4th for many years. I highly recommend it, and
Indeed.
I'm sure
Yes,
you
indeed.
do too.
You bet. Continuing with the weekend's events, the 34th Annual Sacrifice Art Sale will be held at the Creative Arts Center. It will start on July 2nd through July 3rd and continue on July 5th from 9 to 4. They anticipate a good turnout of offerings from their membership in painting, pottery, jewelry, books, and art supplies. Come and support the center and their members. On Sunday, July 6th, help celebrate at the 2nd Annual Small Boat Parade at the Oyster Pond Beach, sponsored by the Monomoy Yacht Club. The fleet will pass and review around 11 a.m. on Sunday afternoon, July 6th, and they'll be looking for your cheers and ovations. The participants will be vying for honors as the best decorated patriotic-themed vessel in the fleet, based on the crowd's reaction to their entry. So noise counts. In any form, participation is free, and any small boat captain and crew is welcome to try their hand at being awarded the trophy for Best in Fleet. For more information, check the Monomoy Yacht Club website at monomoyyc.org. Moving on through the month, on Friday, July 11th at the Marconi Maritime Center, the Creative Arts Center will celebrate their 45th anniversary with a gala event and fundraiser. It will take place from 6 to 8 p.m. and entertainment and refreshments. On Sunday, the 13th, there will be an open reception at the Creative Arts Center for the Elizabeth Pratt Watercolors exhibition. This will run from 4 to 5:30 p.m. And on Monday, July 28th, from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m., the Taste of Chatham. This is always a good one.
Yeah,
this is always a very special evening, and this year it will be held at the Community Center Field on Main Street. The Taste of Chatham is sponsored by Monomoy Community Services to benefit local families. And finally, Meet the Fleet on Wednesday, July 30th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. This month will highlight the black sea bass. Join local fishermen to learn about life on the water and the different types of seafood they bring to shore for all of us to enjoy. Chefs give cooking tips and samples of the locally harvested seafood. Members are free, non-members $10. The Cape Cod Commercial Hook Fishermen's Alliance is at 1566 Main Street, Chatham. Call 508-945-2432, extension 111, to make a reservation.
The Eldridge Public Library is a very busy place this July with ongoing programs and several events of special interest. Learn how to download ebooks to your Kindle, Kindle Fire, and iPad, and how to search the CLAMS digital library site. Reference librarian Amy Andreessen will hold 3 separate sessions. On July 2nd at 1 p.m., the Kindle, at 2 p.m., the Kindle Fire, and at 3:30 p.m., the iPad. Fridays from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., the Chatham Memoirs Group meets. Everyone can write about their own experiences, but do you need tips to make them interesting reading? If you want to join this group, call Mal Ward at 945-4284.
The Summer Fiction Writers Group will meet Thursdays, July 10th through mid-September from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The purpose of this group is to help authors improve their fiction writing through polite, diverse, and helpful critiques from fellow writers. This group is limited to 8 members. Please contact Joe DeRosa, 508-945-9107 for more information or to sign up for the group. Wednesday, July 23rd at 7 p.m., author event with Ron Burler. Journalist Ron Burler, author of Raising the Curve, A Year Inside One of America's 45,000 Failing Public Schools, has devoted much of his career to reporting on youth issues. Raising the Curve is the story of Brookside, one of America's roughly 45,000 failing public schools, and those who populate it. Administrators and faculty, students and their parents, the superintendent and local school board is a chronicle of the struggles each of them face over the course of the 2010-11 school year and of the hard, sometimes regretful choices school personnel are forced to make in order to keep themselves and their school afloat. Burler wrote a weekly column on the subject for the Chicago Tribune and later served as editor-in-chief of NBA Inside Stuff, a pro basketball magazine for tweens. Under his watch, the magazine won a Parents' Choice Gold Award, Seal of Excellence. He has written op-eds for the New York Times, Huffington Post. His work has also appeared in Sports Illustrated, Wired, Men's Journal, and Outside, among other publications. This should be an extremely informative event. Closing out the month of July, on Monday, July 28th at 7 p.m., an author event with Diane Hester. Diane Hester is a former violinist with the Rochester Philharmonic. Born in New York, she now lives in Australia. Run to Me is her debut novel. A gripping plot with intense, relatable characters makes Run to Me impossible to put down. It is a non-stop psychological thriller with a compelling twist. Run to Me is a potent story about love, grief, and secrets. Zach finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. He knows too much about the location of a briefcase that a group of dangerous thugs will stop at nothing to find. Fleeing into the woods, Zach arrives at Schuyler's cabin and will take whatever help she can give. A deadly chase ensues, and mother and son are running for their lives.
For more information about events and activities during the month of July, please visit the Chatham Chamber of Commerce website, www.chathamininfo.com. There you will find listed the many ongoing summer activities, fairs, plays, concerts, art sales, and tours sponsored by the various Chatham organizations, churches, and civic groups. And as we mentioned earlier, our focus this month is on the Chatham Anglers of the Cape Cod Baseball League. We will provide a little history and interviews with players and coaches on this year's team. The Chatham Anglers are one of the oldest and most successful franchises in the Cape Cod Baseball League set of teams. The CCBL and Chatham Association, in association with it, both began in 1885.
Wow, that's a long time.
The Chatham Athletic Association, a nonprofit organization that began in 1962, operates the Chatham Anglers. For longtime fans of the team, the name Anglers was new in 2009. Since the early 1960s, the franchise was known as the Chatham Athletics, or Chatham A's. Due to licensing agreements held by Major League Baseball, the franchise changed its nickname to Anglers in 2009, a name that benefits the Chatham fishing community and which also allowed the CAA to retain an association with the A's theme. The Chatham team has a great history. There are more former Chatham players who have reached the major league level than any other Cape Cod League
that's amazing.
franchise.
That's amazing.
The playing field itself, Veterans Field, is regarded as the finest Cape Cod Baseball League field of all.
And it's right behind us, folks.
That's right. For more information about the Chatham Anglers, please visit their website, www.chathamanglers.com. And if you are a fan of social media or have any family or friends that are, you can follow them on Facebook and Twitter.
I tell you what, the Anglers are great. If you like the feeling of old-time baseball, these are the games to go to. Hi, I'm Rich Garvin. I'm here with Coach John Schiffner from the Chatham A's. The pride of Chatham, I might add. And we're here to talk a little bit about baseball, a little bit about the Cape League. Now, Coach, I was under the impression that the Cape League was a recent organization, but I read something. It goes back to the 1880s.
Right, 19th century.
Wow.
There are scorecards and score sheets from games played in the 19th century. I think they try to say around 1885 they found them, but I would think they may have gone even further back. It just,
wow.
Yeah, well, baseball was getting popular at that point, and the mild winters or mild falls allowed them to play a longer time.
Wow, that's really interesting. Now, my curiosity is piqued here. How the heck did those score sheets survive all those years?
Who knows? I mean, the Constitution survived. I guess they did too. But somebody probably went through some attic someplace. And go, oh, look at this!
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Wait a minute, that's a baseball scorecard.
Yeah.
And then you find out it was probably Barnstable versus Mashpee or something like that. And like, wow, they played ball back then. It's and you could trace a lot of. There's some big leaguers who came through here in the early part of the 20th century, kind of barnstorming after the major league season was over, and they would be. Probably hired guns to come in and play for the Barnstable team against somebody. Pie Trainer was one name that came up, and there's rumors that some big leaguers were here under assumed names just because they were getting paid to come and spend time on Cape Cod and get a few extra bucks.
Man, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. Now, that goes back a long way, but how long have you been here? I know it's not since 1885.
No, some people think I've been. I came here in '74 as a player, and then came back in '77 as an assistant coach, and then left in '82, scouted for the Expos, played or coached in '89 in the Atlantic Collegiate League, and I have been back in Chatham since 1990.
Well, congratulations. Good to have you back.
Oh, it's been fantastic.
Now, what position did you play?
I was a third baseman. Played third.
The hot corner, huh?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Great. Now, the Cape League is really scouted heavily by the major leagues.
Right.
Each game, I suppose, there are major league scouts here.
Almost every game. This time of year, maybe not so much, but within the next 2 weeks, because the College World Series will be over, then the scouts will start coming up because they know our rosters are going to fill up with our full-time players. So the scouts will be here in droves, and depending on the pitching matchup, in June or July, you could get a big-time prospect pitcher and two big-time prospect pitchers against one another, and you could possibly have 30 or 40 scouts between scouting directors, assistant scouting directors, general managers, cross-checkers. This is where they see the kids perform against the best.
I guess when they find a gem, they go back to the mine, right?
You have to. Yep, you have to.
Yeah. Now, when you get a team here, how do you actually get them? Do you go out and personally scout, or do they apply somehow?
No, we recruit them. Do I get a chance to see every kid play? No, and most coaches don't get that opportunity because of their jobs that they have during the course of the year. But we try to get to see some players, but we have to rely on our network.
Yeah.
We have college coaches, we have scouts, we have agents who we trust, and they will send us players. And you hear of somebody and you cross-reference them, but it's still recruiting. You recruit. Most of us do more recruiting to the coaches through the college coaches.
Yeah.
So we contact them, and we all have our favorites. Wake Forest, North Carolina, Southern Cal are three of mine. Where Harwich has Virginia, and they have I can't think off the top of my head one of the other teams that Steve works, but Steve's got a nice connection with Virginia. He's got a nice tech with Virginia Tech, and Falmouth has a nice one with Oregon, so forth, so on. So we all have our favorites, but then we all look for those nuggets someplace.
That's great. That's great. Now, here's another question I have about putting a team together. Now, all these guys, they're strangers, basically. And now you have to mold them into a team. Now, how do you do that?
I think it's you just let them be ball players. You don't try to program them too much. Don't overload them too much. It's a pretty simple game, and we know they're coming from a very difficult college program, college season. So let's play ball. Let's bunt, let's hit and run, let's steal, let's pitch and catch, and let's go home.
Yeah.
And I think the kids appreciate that. The college coaches appreciate that because they've been beating these kids up since January. So I think that's the thing to do, and you be honest with the kids. You play them as much as you can. You try not to bury kids. You try to make the kids better. One of the things we like to say in Chatham is that there's 3 things I want the kids to achieve when they leave here. I want them to be better when they get here. I want them to win some games, and I want them to have the best summer of their life.
That sounds like a great philosophy, Coach. And on that, we're going to stop. And I thank you very much for your time and a great interview.
Thank you very much.
And also, good luck tonight
Thank
and
you.
the rest of the way.
I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Okay, I'm Rich Garvin here at Veterans Field with Nick Collins from Georgetown University. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine on this sunny day. Now, how did you get to come to Chatham and play in the Cape Cod Baseball League?
It's a great experience. I had a good year this past year, in my freshman year and last summer, and was able to I got in contact with Coach Schiff, and my coach got in contact with Coach Schiff, and I signed my contract early this fall and was able to come up here this summer. So.
Okay, now you said you signed a contract. You don't get paid for this?
No, absolutely not. It's still associated with an NCAA. You just sign a contract saying you're going to be here playing the whole summer, just to make sure you don't leave or go home early. So.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. What has been your best experience so far on the Cape?
So far, it's just being able to play baseball and living right around the corner from the beach, and just getting able to do that and wake up and get the experience to do that every day. So it's been fun. I've had a blast so far.
That's great. Now, where are you originally from?
Carthage, North Carolina. It was actually 15 minutes from Pinehurst, where the U.S. Open is being held.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How are you doing so far this year?
I'm doing well so far this year. I've had a blast getting to know all the guys and getting to play and building that connection with all the guys. It's been fun. It's been fun.
And how's the team overall doing?
We're everybody's getting up here. We're gelling as a team. We're playing really well right now. So it's been exciting.
And that's critical for guys from divergent backgrounds to come together and play as a team. And you haven't played with each other before, so there's a lot to learn about tendencies, who's got the best arm, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. Yeah. At first, we had a couple of temporary contract guys up here, and we got to know those guys, and it was tough saying bye to those guys. But once everybody's gotten up here now, we've all kind of gelled, and we hang out. Like today's an off day. I know a few of us are going jet skiing, and some other ones are going on the beach. So it's a good time.
That sounds wonderful. I wish I was doing that, actually. Well, Nick, I want to thank you very much for giving us the time to talk to you, and I want to thank you and hope that you have a great year for yourself and the anglers.
Thank you. No problem. Thanks for having me.
That wraps it up for this time. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Chatham Today. Remember, the show runs on Channel 99 on Mondays at 9 a.m. and several other times during the week. If you missed the cablecast or want to see it again, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, or you can visit our website. Just do a Google search for site/Chatham Today. It should be the first entry you see. The web address is on the screen now. Chatham Today is a video chronicle of the events and activities in the town of Chatham. If you would like to have what's happening in your organization announced on the air, please email us. We look forward to hearing from you. You can also like us on Facebook under Chatham Today, and we hope you do. And thank you for watching. We'll see you down the road.